Good morning! I turned the video on and then immediately slapped the arm that holds the phone. So it was like zzz. I was like, oh my gosh, this is exciting already. All right, so I hope you guys are okay. Today, just finishing my breakfast. Do you know what? I didn't even have breakfast yet. I only had a couple grapes. So naughty me. I did have a coffee though. So today we're going to do this branch right here. And we're going to use the long and short stitch. It's one of the stitches that I always dread teaching because I always want to make sure that I'm being clear. And I feel like this is the one where I'm the least clear. Because you really just have to go for it. Like there's no pattern. There's no like 1, 2, 3, the stitch is done. Like you really need to just jump in and do it. Okay. So I'm going to speak for just a minute and it's going to be the different ways that you can do this. So you can either, let me get my little paper. You can either, I'm going to use these two colors, a dark brown and then like a lighter brown. So I've got 1088 from Anchor and then 3682. I'm assuming that's DMC because it doesn't have an A on it actually. But it could be something else. Who even knows with me? Okay, so there's a couple ways you can do this. One, do it all one color. So make the whole branch one color. That's fine. The second way is that you can mix these two colors together. So take apart maybe one strand of each, and you can do it like that, or 2 strands of one and 1 strand of the other. We're going to be using 2 or 3 strands for this. So take that as you will. If you want it to be a little bit darker, I'd use 2 strands of the darker color and 1 strand of the lighter color. If you prefer a lighter color, I would do the other way, 2 strands of this and 1 strand of this. So like I said, we're going to use either 3 or 2 strands. So it just depends on what color you want your branch to be, if you like it quite dark or if you want to like lighten it up. The third way is going to kind of do only dark at the bottom, only light at the top, and we'll mix them together in the middle. So this might be a little bit difficult, but I feel like we can do it, I feel like we can do it. So that's what I'm going to do, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. But if you want to just use the stitch and fill it in, then just do that. That's okay too. All right. So I like giving you choices. I feel like you don't like it when I give you choices because you're like, just tell me what to do. But yeah, I like giving little choices because I feel like it makes everyone's a little bit different. I'm just putting the line there so I know where to stop. Okay. So with this, like I said, I'm going to do light at the top, dark at the bottom, and it's going to look like almost like the light is shining this way. So it looks like it's a little like highlighted almost. So how we're going to do this, let me just zoom in without ruining it like I did before, is I'm just going to put a little line through here. We're going to stitch over these claws. So if you want to like make them a little bit like over the branch, and I'm only going to do it kind of on this one and then just here at the bottom because it's going to look like the light is shining down. Okay? It's going to make sense, I promise. And then what we're going to do is fill the bottom part with the dark color, the top part with the lighter color, and we're just going to put some little stitches on the bottom with the light color. So you'll have the light color here and then just like a couple little like this. And then you'll have the dark color on the bottom. And then on the light part, we're going to do a couple little stitches like this. So it's going to look like it's blended together just here in the middle. Okay? Okay, let's do the lighter color first because you'll be able to see it a little bit better. And I'm stitching samples for the advent calendar yesterday and today, and I really want to show you guys. I'm so excited. But the whole idea is that it's a secret. So I can't show you. Okay, so I'm gonna do 2 strands because I want to make sure it's like quite blended. But if you're going to do like 2 strands of one color and 1 strand of another color and put them together and do the whole thing one color, you can do that too. So 2 or 3 strands, both are fine. It'll go a little bit quicker with 3, to be fair. All right, and we're doing long and short stitch or long and short split stitch. I think they're kind of the same. They're very similar. With long and short stitch, you normally don't go through the stitches. You go like kind of next to the stitches. Whereas long and short split stitch, it's okay to go in to the stitches to split each stitch. But I kind of tend to tease Mel. Sorry. I know it's so hard because normally I would show you all the progress and everything, you know? And then you'd be like, yay, I'm so excited. But with the advent calendar, obviously it's a gift each day. So I can't tell you what they are. I might make like a special like Instagram like teaser group or something, like a little group chat on Instagram. And then if you want to know what they are, then I'll put it in there or something. I don't know. Okay, like I said before, we're going to be doing long and short stitch, and all that is some longer stitches and some shorter stitches. And the key with this is we're not having any kind of pattern. So you see I've done 1 longer, 1 short. I'm not going to put another longer one in line with this one. You can make it as long or as short as you want to, really. I just said don't put that in line, and then I went and did it. So really, that's the hardest part of this, is to not make a pattern, because you want them to blend together. So the other thing is you can make them in a line down and back, or you can kind of work down like in a row like this, you know? But both are okay. Like I said, this is like my least favorite to teach because there really is no pattern. You just fill it up with long and short stitches. So initially I'm going to go just straight to this line. Okay, and then we can kind of move forward. And so what I like to do is just make sure they're overlapping in some kind of way. Again, long and short. They don't have to be right next to each other. We're not making patterns. And you get like a nice, if you use more threads, it's more textured. So if you were to use like 4 strands, it'd be like really textured. That stitch would be so hard for me. I love that with cross stitching, you always have a plan. Yes, that's why I really don't like this, like teaching this one, because I think people get a little bit like, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? And the reality is you are doing it right, because there's really no right or wrong. And I know a lot of people use this stitch for like pet portraits and any kind of like thread painting type things, because that's literally what it is. So let's just zoom in a little bit more. Let's see if you can tell here. But it does look really good. So what I'm going to do is just go about to here, and then I'll do the bottom part in the dark color, and then you can see kind of what we're trying to accomplish here with this. So if this is not your thing, again, you can just do it all one color. I would try and do the long and short stitch, because I think it's really great to just try new things and just to see, like, you know, what you're good at and what you're not so good at. You might find that actually when you do it, it's nice because you don't have to follow a pattern. You can just do it as long as you're not overlapping the threads too much, meaning like you don't want to put too many kind of on top of each other in one area. You want to kind of make them spaced out like a satin stitch, but overlapping. It is so fascinating how other people work. That's what Hannah said. She says, I think it's so fascinating how different people work. I love that, honestly. And Mel says, I love it. I find it relaxing. Yes. It's very much like coloring in a way, you know, because you're just kind of filling it up, filling up the shape. Miriam says, yeah, I love it too. To be honest, I'm not that great at cross stitch because I get distracted and forget to count. Are we? Did we just become best friends? Because that's... I do the exact same thing. All of the X's are just like, I just can't. And then the thing turns out all wonky and I'm like, I swear I was counting this. I swear I was. Okay, so let's just do a little bit more and then I'll go back and do the little lines at the bottom. And I'm just going to stitch right over the claws because I don't want to go around them. I find it's easier for me if I just stitch over them. If you're like, I'm never going to be able to draw those again, then go ahead and stitch around them. It's like a failed nailed it session with me, yes. Yes, like those Pinterest fails that you see. I just can't do it. And like, I don't find it relaxing. Like some people find it really relaxing because they don't really have to think about, like to them, it just comes easy, you know, like follow the pattern and up 2 over 1, do a cross. Like that's really like satisfying for them. But for me, I just can't do it. I do love this too because I don't really have to worry about like splitting the threads or not splitting the threads or making them look like super, super smooth. You can kind of just like go through, you know, and just kind of fill it up. But yeah, I love to hear like how other people just love it and how other people it's just like not for them, which is funny because I'm quite good at math. So it's not like it's that I'm not good at math, you know? Okay, so we've got this kind of filled in. I said I would go to the claw. That's pretty much what it is. And so right underneath of it, we're just going to do some shorter stitches. And again, try not to make any kind of pattern with it. And some you can put right up against the line so it's not like a straight line down the middle. Okay. Mel says, I start cross stitch and then give it to my mom to finish. That's perfect. Veronica says, I love this stitch. I also love cross stitch too. I think it's okay to love all the different things. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's nice to like take a break and do something else for a little bit. Hannah says, it's really relaxing for me. And Miriam says, I love how when it turns out when others do it. I'm guessing that's what she means. Yeah, I think it looks so pretty. Someone shared earlier that they saw like a Van Gogh Starry Night or something or in cross stitch. And I just think that's so amazing. Like the patience to do all of that is just... I love it. I love it. Morning, Carrie. Okay, so I'm going to end that right there. Okay, so I've got a couple little ones spotted around. okay? And then I'm going to take the dark color and do it all the way at the bottom and then bring it up a little bit too. So hopefully we'll get like a nice blended area here. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Good morning, good morning. It's meant to be really warm this week, and I'm so excited for it. Today was supposed to be nice and sunny, but actually, we've got the clouds coming. Look at, they're like, it's really cloudy today. So maybe it will be nice later. I hope so. Last summer we got outdoor furniture, got a little fire pit, and gosh, we've like barely used them because it's been raining so much this spring/summer. Hannah says cross stitching really takes so much patience. It does. Maybe I just don't have patience. Maybe that's what it is. Veronica says, I love the freedom of embroidery with different stitches and the more control of cross stitch. Yes. I could totally see that. Veronica says, it's sunny here in Glasgow. Girl, make my room up. Veronica and I were joking that I'm going to go move there for a little bit because it's always raining here. And every time I say it's raining, she's like, it's sunny here. I'm like, man. Okay. It's ready. Yes. It's raining here like crazy. Everything is flooded. Oh, Hannah, no. Did you guys see the floods in New York? And how the subway was like overflowing? Like so much rain. Okay, we're getting up to the part where we can blend them. That's crazy. Did you see it though? It was like, I don't know, maybe earlier this week or last week. I forget. But yeah, like all like the subways, metro stations and everything, they were like overflowing. Like people were like walking down and it was like waist deep. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so I've gotten right up to the line, and just like we did with the lighter color, okay, we're gonna do the darker color up a little bit too. So it doesn't have to be like super loads. Oh gosh. I need to untwist my thread, I think. Yeah, it doesn't have to be like a lot or like really thick or anything like that. We're just doing a little bit. Just like the suggestion that, oh, these colors are blending. And what really makes this effective is when they're all going in the same direction. So kind of like satin stitch, where you want them all to be parallel, we're kind of working with the same concept here. So you want them all to be parallel and all kind of flowing along the same way. So if you had something like this, please enjoy my drawing. Okay, if you had something like this, it won't be smooth. It might look a little bit more like bark, okay? So if you want to have that bark texture on it, oops, then that would be the way. But the way that I'm doing it is more having all the different lengths of stitches overlapping a little bit, but they're all parallel. So it makes it look smooth, but with the different colors, it'll look blended, okay? So if you want a bark texture, where you want to go crazy town, you want to make them go all over the place and on an angle. But if you want to have it smooth, then you kind of want to do it this way. Typical me giving you 100 different ways that you could do it and then making you choose yourself. Sorry. Okay. With this one, I feel like the more you do it, the more you kind of instinctively know where to put the next stitches. Again, I'm just going over these little tips here. I need to learn how to stitch with both hands, you know? So my left hand can poke it up as well. I think I say that every stitch along because I'm like, I could go faster than this. I feel like I could go faster. No. Don't forget to go up just a little bit. And they don't have to be like super long stitches either. They could just be some short little ones. Looks good. Thanks, Mel. Like, who am I kidding? You guys always make it look so amazing. Like, I'll teach you a little bit and then you'll just like, I don't know, just like go over the top and like outdo it. You know what I mean? I'm just blown away by like how amazing you guys are like all the time. That would be so time efficient, wouldn't it? Making it up as I sew says, I'm always working when you do this, so I can't stitch along because of the time zone difference. But I love logging in when I can and picking up tips. Fun. As always, when you have that same color on, like I've got the dark color, just have a little look back and make sure that you've like really filled it up, because sometimes with long and short stitch, especially when you have like here is a little bit wider and then this here is a little bit thinner and then here is a little bit wider again, sometimes it's easy to kind of miss a little bit. or not fill it in completely. I really want to open the door, but people are doing a lot of work outside. It is allowed. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I can keep going until my thread is gone, but that's pretty much it. That's what we're doing. So you've got your 3 different ways to do it. When you mix the 2 colors of thread, it looks so nice. So don't think like, oh, I don't want to just mix the 2 and call it a day, because like, you totally can. It looks so good. You get more of like one color but mixed. Let me see if I did it in any of these. Not that one. Oh, here we go. This one. And I'll show you kind of how it looks. Let's zoom it out. Okay, so there we go. See, I love how that looks, but if you don't, that's okay too. So you don't have to do it the exact same way. Yeah, it's just like a little bit lighter on the top, a little bit darker on the bottom. Don't forget that the toucan is going to be like a really dark color as well. So maybe I should have used a little bit more light and less dark. But I feel like if I put black next to it, it'll still be fine, you know? So here's what it looks like when you just mix the 2 colors. So obviously this is just a satin stitch, a padded satin stitch. But you've got the colors mixed here. And then for this one, it's also mixed colors. So yeah, it can look really nice with just 2 colors mixed. And actually, it almost looks like I've used almost the exact same colors there. But yeah. Are you going to show it with a single thread? No, not with a single thread, because I've already started with 2. So I can't do just 1. But if you use just 1 color, it's the exact same concept as just the dark or just the light. But I won't do a single thread because I've already started with 2, so it wouldn't make sense for me to use 1. If you know what I mean? Does that make sense? I only need to finish my cottage stitch along. The videos are always there. Don't feel stressed out. It's okay. Oh no. You can definitely use 1 strand if you want to. It's just going to take a lot longer. But it would look more blended. So it just depends on what your goal is. For some people, it's just to stitch a little bit every day, have some time to wind down, not necessarily like learn all the new skills or take like hours and hours. And for some people, it's like, I want to learn everything. I want to try everything. Like, I want to get better. I want to like, you know? And like sometimes I'll make a pattern and I know maybe I won't sell it or maybe nothing will happen with it, but I just want to stitch something, you know, and not have to think about it and not have to be like, oh, what can I do to make this a little bit more complicated, or what can I do to make this, you know, like to challenge myself. It's more about, I just want to stitch something. I just want to fill it in. I just want like 20 minutes of nothing, you know, and that's okay too. I might mix my threads so the change is more gradual, like 3 strands of light color, then 2 light, 1 dark. Yeah, try. Definitely. 2 light, then 1 dark, and then 2 dark and 1 light. Yes, try it. Like, what I would say is like do a little section like this, you know, just do half. And then if you hate it, you can always take it out. It's a little bit, it's not easy to take it out, you know what I mean? Because the front and the back are pretty filled up. But it's not impossible, and you'll definitely be able to do it if you're like, I hate this. So yeah, don't stress out if you're like, ugh. And if you don't want to mix the colors, that's okay too. Just don't. Just do it however you want, you know? Use the long and short stitch, fill it in. You can do all one color. And you can even tell like up here is a little bit more successful than it is down here because I haven't really blended them together here. So it looks more like just dash, dash, dash instead of like actual like blending. You know, you can also go back with just 1 strand and make some finer lines because obviously the less strands you use, the finer the lines are going to be, the thinner the lines are going to be. So there we go. So what we need to do today is finish this, just the branch. So you're going up to here and then down here into the water, and that's it. So I think I'm going to call it a day with that. And yeah. Don't forget to tag me at the Barmy Fox. Okay? And use the hashtag #TheBarmyFoxSAL. I've also opened the advent calendar, and there's 2 freebies in there. They are past patterns, but they are a little bit old, and I'm not really sure that a lot of people who have the advent calendar have purchased them. So they will be free in there. One of them is 4 hand-lettered alphabets that you can use on any kind of ornaments, gifts that you make for your friends or anything like that. And the other one is like a Christmas pattern, and it's 6 little 3-inch patterns that you can make. So they're super cute. I love them. So yeah, there's a swipe up in my stories if you've bought the advent calendar and you'd like to join. So yeah, I will speak with you tomorrow for the last day of week 1. We made it. And don't worry if you haven't finished all of this. We did a lot of stitching this week, okay? A lot of big things like this guy. So don't feel stressed if you're like, I'm not done. Tomorrow, I'm not going to be finished. That's all right. You've got the weekend and you have all of next week as well. So even if you don't follow along like day by day, you're not behind. Just do it when you want to. It should be fun, okay? It shouldn't be like, oh, I'm so stressed out. It should be fun. So if you're not having fun, set it down. Because it kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? So yeah, enjoy your Thursday, and I'll speak with you tomorrow. All right? Bye!